I did part one of a video. I think the headline read that the judge has denied the appeal bond to Sean Diddy Combs. And as a result, he is to remain in prison until the actual trial begins. It has been said that if the feds indict you on any particular level, that a guaranteed conviction is likely to follow. So to briefly recap, here we go. Sean Diddy Combs, according to CNN, Sean Diddy Combs is to remain in custody after uh, the appeal judge denied his bail appeal in the racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking case. So this is what happens. He went to the appeals court today. His lawyers' motions and petitioned on his behalf, and he failed in their appeal of the decision. Of course, bail was denied. So in his ruling, Judge Andrew Carter said there were no conditions that reduced the risk of witness tampering or obstruction. So it appears that the judge said because he has called several witnesses in the past or contacted them, either he or some of his surrogates, the judge is afraid that Diddy will somehow get involved with them and try to get them to change their story or their testimony. And the hip hop mogul artist and music icon, music mogul, who is facing charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And Sean will continue to be held in custody pending his trial. Right now he is in PC, or protective custody. Combs is being held by himself at the Special Housing Unit in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn after Tuesday's hearing. Here is an artist's sketch right here. I don't think I can't get it imposed on the screen. So the indictment states that Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct for more than 10 decades or a decade. Specifically, the indictment accuses Combs of working with other associates and employees, alleges he hosted drug-fueled freak-offs with victims and sex workers, notes instances of physical and sexual abuse, and illuminates what law enforcement found in the March raids of his home. So when they raided his home back in March, several homes of his back in March, they were looking for specific things, and they confiscated a whole lot of evidence, potential evidence. While prosecutors in court Tuesday argued the music mogul should not be released because he had previously reached out to witnesses and victims, Combs' defense attorneys in a bail motion proposed to put him on home detention with a $50 million bond, which would be secured by his Miami residence, which is valued at $84 million. So Judge Tanofsky told Combs there were no conditions that she would find to assure her that he would appear in court if released. The judge said her concern is, quote, this is a crime that happens behind closed doors, even when pre-trial services is monitoring. So in court Tuesday, U.S. Assistant District Attorney Emily Johnson said Combs should be detained because he is a, quote, serial abuser and a serial obstructor, adding pre-trial services also recommended detention. Agnifilio asserted the case is about one victim, an argument fiercely opposed by federal prosecutors. In rebuttal, Johnson emphasized this is not a case about one victim, there are multiple victims. Since last November, Combs has been hit with 10 lawsuits, 9 directly accusing him of sexual assault. And members and associates of the Combs enterprise engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other activities, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, the indictment states. These are a lot of charges. So during Combs' detention hearing, federal prosecutors said at least a dozen witnesses personally observed the music mogul's violence against women or the injuries they sustained at his hands. One big piece of evidence that they have is that videotape in which Combs was seen stomping and kicking and dragging Cassie Ventura down the hallway. and that was very brutal in itself. And apparently, it seems no one intervened. And the attorney for Dawn Richard, a former member of the musical group Dinty or Dynasty, whatever they want to call it, Kane, who was accusing Combs of of sexual battery in a separate lawsuit. And she told CNN the federal prosecutor's revelation about a witness in Richard's own case receiving 128 phone contacts from Combs within the 4 days after the complaint filed. Well, now, the indictment accuses Combs of years of abuse that was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. Combs engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women and other individuals, the indictment states. Seems like he might get a lot of women on the jury, and if he does, you know they're going to find him guilty. So Johnson told the judge Tuesday that the investigation uncovered evidence of Combs allegedly assaulting victims by choking, hitting, kicking, and dragging victims. The physical abuse in particular was recurrent and widely known, the indictment states, and occurred on numerous occasions from about 2009 and continued for years. So the sex trafficking charge is based on allegations against a single unnamed victim known as I from about 2009 up to about 2018. The indictment states, if you like this program, while I'm talking, would you kindly please hit the subscribe button? Thank you. The indictment highlights a March 2016 indictment, which was captured on video and later publicly reported, showing Combs kicking, dragging, and throwing a vase at a victim, throwing a vase at a woman. When a hotel staffer intervened, Combs attempted to bribe them for their silence, the indictment adds. The details match up with CNN's reporting in May of the video that showed Combs beating and kicking his then-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, at a Los Angeles hotel. She is not named in the indictment. In November 2023, Ventura sued Combs and accused him of rape and years of abuse. In response, an attorney for Combs said he vehemently denies those offensive and outrageous allegations. They settled the lawsuit a day after it was filed. Attorney Douglas Wigdor, who represents Ventura, said in a statement Tuesday, in response to the numerous inquiries we have received regarding the indictment of Sean Combs, neither Ms. Ventura nor I have any comment because she was paid to keep quiet. The explosive surveillance video contradicted Combs' earlier comments denying wrongdoing, and days afterward he posted an Instagram video apologizing. That video has since been deleted. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video, quote unquote, he said. So Combs' attorney argued the 2016 video is not evidence of sex trafficking, as prosecutors suggested, but evidence of Combs having more than one girlfriend and getting caught. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to keep you updated and informed. So law enforcement seized guns, ammo, drugs, and a huge collection of baby oil and lubricant during the searches, according to the indictment. So by September, Agnifilio stated he realized an indictment was coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months. So he urged Combs to fly to New York. Agnifilio said he called federal prosecutors and said his client was willing to surrender. So until next time, never surrender, never quit.